All right, second grade. To start off this project, you're going to make sure your name and class code is on your paper. Flip it over. We are going to be making houses or buildings today. So I went and got some scraps out of the scrap bin. So we're going to be using scraps to make our buildings. So first thing I want to do is I want to cut out some pretty good sized rectangles for my buildings to start. So I think maybe I'll start with my first building. I don't think I want my first building too big, so I'm going to make that one like that. Maybe my next building will be my biggest building. I want to make sure I make it taller than that one, so I'm kind of holding it next to it to check. I think that's pretty good. There we go. Now I think I want a really tall one. Now I'll make one more. All right, so there are my 4 buildings. Now I need to make roofs for my buildings. So I can hold up the paper that I'm going to use for my roof, and I like to just kind of line up my edges. So you can see I've lined up my blue rectangle right along the edge of my pink paper, and then I like to just make a mark where my blue paper ends, so that way I know exactly how big my roof needs to be. So I go from this corner to this mark that I just made to know how wide my roof needs to be to cover my the top of the building, because otherwise if you don't measure it, you might make one that doesn't go all the way across, or you might make one that's way too big. So that's why I like to measure. Maybe I'll do a dark orange roof for this one. Again, I'm lining this up with the edge, my orange paper with the edge of my yellow paper, then making a mark where my yellow paper ends. And I think I want this roof to be kind of tall, so maybe I'll make a mark where I kind of want my roof to end. Lining it up with the edge, making a little mark. All right. Once I have my buildings and roofs, I'm going to go through and glue all these down really quick. Remember to use dot, dot, not a lot so we don't have glue oozing out all over the place. I'm going to make sure to leave a little bit of space between each one of my buildings. Then I'm going to flip my paper over and give it a nice massage so all those papers stick down really, really well. Then our houses need some doors and some windows. So I think on this one I want kind of 2 medium-sized windows. I think on this one, I want 4 square windows. So remember, if you want to cut out multiple things that are all the same size, it's a little bit easier to fold your paper in half, or fold your paper a couple of times, so that way you can make the same shape quickly. Like that. Let's glue that down. For this one, I made kind of a bigger door, wider door. I think for this one, I want some long, skinny windows. And I think for this one, I'll make 1 big window and 2 smaller windows. Then I just need a door. And I think I'm gonna make like a tall, rounded door. All right, there we go. Of course, I'm gonna flip it over and give it a massage so I know that all of my doors and windows are stuck down really, really well. Perfect. All right, second grade, so this is as much as we're doing today. Next time we come to class, we will start the next step where we add our snow. All right, second grade. Now is time for the second part of our winter houses project. So what we're gonna do is each of you are going to have your own Q-tip and you will have a cup of white paint on your table. This is all we need to make our snow. So I'm gonna start by adding some snow on the ground, kind of like there's a little pile of snow in front of these houses. So I'm gonna dip my Q-tip into the white paint and I'm just gonna start adding some dots. I'm gonna zoom us in. I'm gonna start adding some dots along the bottom of my paper to be like little piles of snow. I can kind of make it look like there's hills by making some parts higher and some parts lower. Just remember, we're making dots. We're not painting, we're not brushing it on there. We're just making nice, neat little dots. And you can make a few at a time before you have to go in and dip back for more paint. All right, once you have a nice amount of snow on the bottom, then I'm gonna go and put some snow on the tops of my roofs. Be careful when you're painting that you don't drag your sleeve or your wrist through the snow that you have already made at the bottom of your paper. So if you want, you can turn your paper to kind of help you so you can make it at the bottom of your paper. Next, I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna start adding snow to the tops of some windows, like the tops of the windows caught some snow. Maybe even the tops of the doorways, like it snowed a whole lot. Last but not least, we want to make it look like it's still snowing. So I'm gonna add some snow falling from the sky up here. But if it was falling from the sky, it would also be falling in front of our houses. So you can kind of go add some random spots of snow falling down in front of your houses. All right, my friends, there is my finished snowy houses.